It's Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.
Hi everyone, welcome to Today in Putnam County. I'm Shan Stout, Director of Tourism and filling in for Mayor Porter while he's on the campaign trail. I have with me my co-host Tessa Davis, also with the Visitors Bureau. And today's guest is going to be a really fun interview. So you guys are going to want to stick with us because we have the lovely Mia Scruggs, and you are a current student at Tennessee Tech University. And the fun thing about Mia, she recently won a competition in collaboration and partnership with the Visitors Bureau. Hello, Mia. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Now, is this your year to graduate?
I am actually a junior, so I don't graduate until next May.
So you have a little bit more time. So
Yes.
You're looking forward to summer.
I am. Yes, ma'am.
So leading up to the summer season, we're going to talk about the journey that brought you on the show today, because you were recently awarded the opportunity to design a new logo, a new t-shirt design for our visitor shop downtown and our welcome center on Tennessee Avenue with a Cookeville theme. So your professor came to you and the whole class had everybody pair up in teams of 1 or 2, correct? Yes. Tell us what that experience looked like. You know, when Dr. Uppel came to you and said, okay, guys, we have this project. Were you like, oh, man, one more class project? Or was it like, ooh, that sounds like fun?
So I was actually excited. I thought it was a really cool project to have. We did get paired off into a team of 2. We each made a logo, though. So we just kind of bounced ideas off of each other and worked on it together. I thought it was a really cool project, though, just to it was different from anything we had done before. So I was excited.
Now let's talk about your logo partner. So you were teamed with another student, and she couldn't be here today.
Yes, her name was Maris Neal.
So hi, Maris. We miss you.
Yes. So we worked together. We both made a logo. She actually was third as well, so her logo got chosen for some. So that was really cool. But we worked together. We kind of just bounced ideas off of each other. We each looked at each other's and was like, hey, I think this would look good, or I think this would look good. So we definitely collaborated on it.
So what I love about this project, first off, when your professor came to us and we decided to partner on this project together, I love anything that is going to put students in a real world working environment. I feel like there's no better way to learn than that on-the-job training, right?
Right.
So you guys were actually competing with your peers just like you were working for an ad agency. I mean, it was like whose design is going to get chosen, how do you pitch it? And then your logos themselves were placed on T-shirts to show what they would look like. So there were multiple things the judges had to look at with these designs. And one was the fact that, are they to scale for the T-shirt themselves? Because some designs were really big, some were small, some had a front and a back. There were just different things to consider. Would this be something that our customers would likely purchase? You know, which one looks like it suits our brand? And Tessa, you can talk to, there were so many designs that were submitted. It was a lot of fun to see the process.
It was a lot of fun because, I mean, I'm wearing one of our sweatshirts right now. So I love shopping in our stores, and I know I have one particular kind of taste, but I know we have to fit all of our people in the market. But your design, I feel like I would buy one of those.
So, and I'm gonna, for our viewing audience, I'm going to show what the winning design looks like. It was based on the fact that, you chose a very nice color palette. There's not so many colors that it would not be economical for us to print. You chose a basic light tea, which is also appealing to us. That is a popular color with our demographic of our customers that come through. And the fact that the design really incorporates a lot of things. The creativity with using the tri-star, but making it as part of the sky. And then you have the sun, and then you have different landmarks. It just was a very even design. The fact that it was a circle, so that makes it very printable to multiple things, and we also have considered turning that into a sticker for our gift shop as well. So now for our listening and viewing audience, we're going to let them know your t-shirt is going to be available for purchase. And it is a really big deal that you're going to be able to use this for your resume, that you designed merchandise already for 2 locations, 2 welcome centers. And I know when it got down to 6 and I was watching the judging process, right? It was like, oh my goodness, I really had 3, and it wasn't even all the top 3 that won. Yours was the contender the whole time, but they were trying to decide which one's first, which one's second, which one's third out of these 6. And I didn't know how it was going to go there for a minute. And so when yours was selected and I really understood the reasoning behind it, I was like, this looks like it could already be hanging in our welcome centers. So we know that it will not only sell well, but we hope that the fun journey of customers knowing that this came from students at Tennessee Tech makes it a fun way for them to support what we're doing with the college as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was not a hideous project, because we certainly enjoyed it on our side.
No, I definitely had a lot of fun making it, and I started completely different from that logo. So it took me a while to get to where I got with it. I tried multiple different things, and I landed on the Cookeville Depot being in the bottom of it, because I was I first started with looking up what is the top 10 most important things in Cookeville, and it was obviously the waterfalls, the Cookeville Depot, stuff like that. So I started with the waterfalls because we had talked about the waterfalls so much when you had came and presented to us. And then I work at Poppy's Boutique, so I was at work one day and I was looking across the street and I was looking at the depot, and I was like, well, maybe I should add that in there. And so that's how I kind of came to that idea.
Well, I love the fact that you basically had to sleep on it,
Yeah.
right? Because anyone that's worked in advertising for years, you will always, they'll say, you know what, I think it's perfect, but we got to sleep on it.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to let it marinate for a minute, because there's always that moment where something, I call it post-brilliance, kicks in. You think you have it all wrapped up and it's tied up with a bow, and then you have to untie it and fix a piece of tape on your package because something on it is just not quite right. And so tweaking something and giving yourself time to do a project well. Tessa does the graphic design for everything Visit Cookeville. Everything. I'm so sorry, Tessa. I'm so sorry. I know that's your job, but you really, really push the limits of what you're doing for us, and we appreciate you. But what was it for you to be able to see all of these students that were doing graphic design and having goals of working in industries where they're creating?
Well, for one thing, I do a lot of social media design for our digital sign at the convention center. Doing t-shirt design, that is totally different. That is hard. I have tried and thought, I'm going to help design a t-shirt. That is hard to get a graphic to look just right that would work for a t-shirt. So yours was done really well. There were several that I was really impressed with, and just to see how students used pieces of Cookeville for a concept for a t-shirt. So it was really fun to see all those come together and be able to say, this would inspire, an idea for maybe this, or this would be great for a t-shirt, this one would be better for a sticker. But just to see that, I'm still learning for the graphic design, but to see what the students can do was really impressive.
Well, thank you. A lot of that is from Dr. Opal. She taught us really well, so I feel like we were all able to come up with really good designs because of that.
Well, she was so excited about this project, and we talked back and forth,
Yeah.
I feel like 100 times before this actually became a thing. In the beginning, it was just like, hey, if we ever want to collaborate with your students and turn it into a group project, And so this was maybe a year in the making. So now to see the final product and to have you here as the winner, did you tell your parents, your family? Were they excited?
I told my parents and they were really excited. They were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I was like, I know. I was really excited. I was also a little nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this podcast is going to be televised. Wow. I was like, what am I going to wear? Yeah. So I was like,
So hi, Mom.
Yeah, hi, Mom, hi, Dad. But yeah.
Oh, well, listen, this has been an exciting journey, but this is just one small piece of your education. So you're going to Tennessee Tech. You're a junior. Are you from here?
So I'm actually from Lebanon. It's like an hour from here.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's where I'm from, but I'm majoring in fashion design. Well, it's design studies with a concentration in fashion design. So I have one more year left. I would love to like either have my own boutique or my own clothing line at one point. Like that would be the big dream. So yeah.
So you're working at Poppy's, and Sarah's a good friend of mine.
Yes.
And I watched her journey. She first started up with a pop-up shop in a camper.
Yeah.
And it was adorable, and she did so well that, I mean, she immediately had to grow into a brick and mortar space and then multiple brick and mortars. So are you working here at her Poppy's in Cookeville now? Did you ever work at the one in Lebanon?
So I started at the one in Lebanon my sophomore year of high school. So I've been with Sarah for about 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And then when I came up here, I started working for her in Cookeville. So I kind of go back and forth. I do some in the summer in Lebanon when I'll work for her, and then when I'm up here for school, I work at the Cookeville location.
Now, I know that Sarah, she has a very different take on running a boutique because she curates her brands that she carries in her shop, but she also designs a line of T-shirts as well.
Yeah.
So did that kind of inspire you?
Yeah.
And did you kind of lean on watching her journey?
Yeah, I've watched her do it for so many years, so definitely I feel like I kind of had a little bit of I was a little ahead because I had seen her do that for so long and watched her sell it and do her podcast and all of that.
Well,
So.
and I will say the thing I love about Poppy's and the T-shirts that Sarah has designed, she gets that less is more and more is more. So some of the T-shirt designs, your design was streamlined down to the basics of what you need without too much that it cannot be replicated. Anything with too much detail in a T-shirt, the ink cannot even define it. There's just a lot of things that have to be done just so to be a professional design. And yours was the closest to what we would consider a professional design. We were very proud of it. It was like, oh my goodness, this completely can go from logo to imprint with no real adjustment. So that was really appealing to us. And I will say, I was originally, my career started in children's book publishing, and the same thing with children's books, less is more. Like you don't make it complicated. This is, your manuscript is for children. The graphics are for children. Keep things very simple. And it's hard to do. You keep thinking you need to do more to it. It needs to have a bigger message or a bigger meaning. And, it's the same with graphic design, keeping that message very simple. You have just a few seconds to kind of absorb the whole concept, and then people really don't look at it again. They glance, and then that's it. And then it just becomes kind of a blur to them. So getting that point across. Tessa, she does billboards for Visit Cookeville, and you understand.
I knew this was coming.
That was the challenge in the beginning, putting too much on a billboard.
I was thinking in a social media graphic standpoint, I want my social media graphics to be fun and, colorful, engaging. That's not the same for a billboard. And I learned the hard way, so I knew this was coming.
Oh, listen, we've all been there. Absolutely. You have 3 seconds to read a billboard, and so whatever that 3 seconds can capture, anything else is meaningless. And that was very similar to what you experienced here with your T-shirt design. So when we come back, we have been talking to Mia Scruggs, a Tennessee Tech student and winner of our merchandising challenge with Visit Cookeville. And we are going to talk right after the break about Mia's recent college experience at Tennessee Tech, why she chose Tennessee Tech, the fun things to do there, and what she does in her spare time. So don't go away. You're listening to Today in Putnam County.
We're back with Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. You've been listening to Today in Putnam County. And for those of you that might just be joining us, we've been talking to the lovely and adorable Mia Scruggs. Mia is a Tennessee Tech junior, And she recently won a contest to design merchandise for Visit Cookeville for both our Welcome Center and our Visitor Shop downtown. Mia, thank you so much again for sharing your journey. And for anybody that is just now tuning in, our viewing audience, I'm going to show again, this is Mia's winning design. This t-shirt is currently being printed and is going to be available in both our downtown location across from the Cookeville Depot next to Cream City, the Cookeville Visitor Shop, and it's also going to be available in our Welcome Center at the Convention Center on Tennessee Avenue, exit 283. Cannot wait. And I think they're actually choosing 2 different colors to put the design on so that we'll have choices. But I loved your design. I agree with the judges. It was a wonderful, wonderful concept and a strong graphic. We look forward to seeing it in our shops, and congratulations. Now, let's talk about, we've gone through all the things you've been doing, but let's talk about your freshman journey to junior year. So first off, how did you choose Tennessee Tech?
So Tennessee Tech was always like one of my top choices as far as school, just because it was closer to my hometown, which is Lebanon. And then I had also, my best friend's brother had graduated a year before us, and he had already came up here, so we had been up here for football games and stuff like that. So I already had known the campus a little bit and wanted to come up here, and then we came and toured, and I fell in love with it. And then also my dad's parents had met here, so they had gone here as well.
How sweet.
So we had kind of already had it on our radar, and then we came up here for homecoming weekend, and I was like, I've got to go to Tech.
Now, you are from Lebanon. Have you been commuting to school? Do you live on campus?
I live in a townhome down here, so I am about 5 minutes away from campus. So I live in Cookeville, but I do go back for summers and stuff.
Okay, so let's talk about your freshman year, because it's a big deal to go from high school to college. I don't care who you are. I don't get, my daughter, she made such great grades in high school. She thought it'd be a breeze to just be freshman year on campus. And it was a little overwhelming for her at first, that initial, and she was afraid she couldn't make new friends. She had left her old friends. What was your experience like?
So I have a twin sister, so she came up here as well with me.
Oh my goodness, so you kind of had a built-in buddy.
Me and
so jealous.
Yeah, and my best friend that I had talked about came up here as well, and we got a townhome our freshman year. So I never lived on campus, but we were just within the commuter range to where we could do that. So I had those friends from home, so it was a little bit of an easier transition for me. And then I also rushed, so I'm a FIMU at Tech, so that's kind of how I made my big group of friends that I met down here. And it's definitely helped me. I feel like I'm always go, go, go. I have something to do because of that.
So your sorority, they always raise money for a cause.
Yes.
What are you guys raising money for?
So ours is Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. So we do a lot with Vanderbilt Children's in Nashville and all the surrounding children's hospitals. We do stuff like Vandy Valentine's, where we take stuff down to Vanderbilt for Valentine's Day. And we just had our Bonamy Week, which is our philanthropy week. Where a couple of the Miracle families will come down. We'll do a concert at the end of the week. They get to judge, and we just raise money for those families.
So how does that make you feel? Because the sorority piece of philanthropy, I think, is such an important part to instill early how important it is to give back. How has that affected you?
I've always loved it. I have cerebral palsy, so I did a lot and was in Vanderbilt Children's some growing up, so it definitely when I was in the rushing process and heard FIMU's philanthropy was those hospitals, it meant a lot to me.
That's where you wanted to be.
And that's where I wanted to be, and so getting to be with those families and talk to them and see some of the kids, it really means a lot to me, and I've always loved even just talking to them one-on-one.
Well, that's beautiful, and we appreciate your work in that, and I've not talked to a single sorority sister that was not in love with their philanthropy in that piece. It gives you meaning as part of the college experience. So speaking of college experience, you're now a junior.
Yes.
And you'll be graduating hopefully next year. Woo! So what have you learned along this journey? What do you love about Tech? Is there a favorite place that you go to study? Where's your favorite place to hang out with your friends? Just give us the inside scoop.
So because I'm a design studies major, I'm always in Oakley. So having Soulcraft right across the street from Oakley, I'm there.
That was a glorious moment,
Yeah,
right?
I'm there at
Thank
least
you,
once
Anna.
a day, sometimes twice. They see a whole lot of me. Yeah. So I definitely am there either studying or just getting a coffee, walking across the street and coming back to class. So that's one of my favorite spots. I also really like having the poets on campus in the library. Anything coffee related, honestly, as you can tell.
Any caffeine
Yeah, anything
related
caffeine
hangout,
related.
me is
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I'm there. So that's probably my two favorite spots on campus. Definitely Soulcraft. I'm either studying there, getting coffee, or I'm in Oakley.
Now, you obviously love caffeine,
Yeah.
and that's been established. But how does it feel? It's an unusual element that Tennessee Tech allows small businesses to come in instead of just being a chain,
Yeah.
coffee house. It's a small business that you already know and love, and they're able to grow within the Tennessee Tech campus. I think that's a beautiful thing.
I do too, because I had been to Soulcraft obviously before at their other locations and loved it. And so when I heard that we were getting one, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm excited. But I think it's really cool. Like it's definitely, you get something different than like the campus Starbucks because it's just higher quality and they have homemade pastries. Like it's great.
Oh, we agree. Now, Tessa, the Soulcraft on Broad Street keeps her going.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we would have done, especially in those first
I
years.
had it this morning. Matter of fact.
So we just love Anna, and we love the fact, when we heard that they were moving Soulcraft to Tech campus, I was like, okay, but the original is staying put. I mean, that was our first, 5-alarm fire. Like, Code Red, you've got this. And she's like, oh, no, we're growing.
Yeah, and I love both locations, which the college campus one, it has a different aesthetic too. So
It does.
And
A different
I love,
vibe.
like, on a nice day, I like going to the college because they have the doors open. You can feel the breeze. But if it's a little rainy, I go to the downtown one. But yeah, big fan of Anna. I'm also a big fan of Poets. I know Exceptional Bean has a place set up at Tech as well. So yeah, for caffeine lovers, you have unlimited options.
Yeah.
So y'all are instant friends. You have the common
I thrive
love
on
of coffee.
caffeine.
That's
Yes.
So your fashion and merchandising, we've got that whole realm going on. What are your future career goals?
So I would love to either have my own boutique at some point, whether that's in Cookeville or back home in Lebanon. I would also love either maybe to have my own clothing line. Honestly, like I would be happy with like anything within the fashion realm. Like I've always loved fashion. I've always loved designing. I've always like loved picking out my own outfit, even when I was 3 years old.
Well,
My mom
well
wanted
done
to dress
today.
me. But yeah, I've always like been so interested in fashion.
Well, and you've already set yourself up for success, Mia. You have a beautiful mentor in Sarah Collins.
Yes.
At Poppy's, and she is already trailblazing ahead of you. You can learn from her successes and her challenges, and she's a lovely person anyway. She has kind of an empowering women situation going on. She's always trying to help other women and everybody lift each other up, and I love that about Sarah.
Yes.
She's not pretentious at all, even though she has developed this little boutique empire of hers, and we're just so proud for her. And I am so excited to see your future success. We love to see students that even before they graduate, they're already making plans and goals, seeing what their future is, envisioning it ahead of time. And, I feel like that manifestation piece of our mind, recently, Mia, we did a Waterfalls for All documentary. And a year ago, we were like, what would be really, really great that's so impossible we don't even want to say it out loud. And we're like, it would be great to have a Waterfalls for All commercial and a Waterfalls for All documentary. And I was like, well, you know what? We can do the commercial, no problem. But Tessa and I were like, documentary on TV, that sounds like a lot. And we've only got a year, but here we are, and it has happened. And so the only advice that I would give you or any student is think really, really big. Imagine, see what you can accomplish that you know you can, but then go past that and go, what is really impossible for me that I would love to accomplish? Like, what's the thing? You know, do you want your name inside that label of your clothing? Like, what is the thing that you go, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to throw it out in the universe? Because oftentimes when you do that, your mind and body start moving down that path automatically. And it is a beautiful thing. But when you think you can't, you know, what is it, the saying, whether you say you can or you can't, you are right. And so with this, you have already, this podcast is your way to manifest your dreams. You are saying to the universe, you are saying to all of Putnam County, this is my goal for myself. This is something that I want to do when I graduate. And I guarantee there are going to be big things for you in the future. This is a beautiful first step. And your first piece of merchandise is going to be in the Welcome Center in the visitor shop within about 2 weeks. So we are so excited for you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Now, Tessa, you've been part of this whole process. You have, you know, we support Tennessee Tech a lot, and we will go and speak to different classes. Just finished a public relations session with a group last week, and gosh, the number of questions that they have. I love that students are so curious. And the number one thing that I get asked the most is how to give a good interview, because I'm always having to have people interview for positions, and they're like, what's the trick in giving a good interview? And I said, well, you guys are already doing it and you don't realize. Like, you're making the first impression with me just by your body language, your eye contact, whether you say thank you if I give you something. Just the fact that you're engaged, you're asking questions, you are being very flexible with, you know, your creativity. Those are already things where you're shining, you know. And so the students at Tennessee Tech, they just impress me on the biggest level, and I know you feel the same.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tech just in general is fairly impressive, and we partner with them a lot and partner with students. But you work at Poppy's, and you kind of, I've already seen the West Side and things to do in Soulcraft, all the great coffee.
Yes.
But some students aren't as fortunate. So, like Shan mentioned earlier, some students can go from freshman year to senior year and not know what everything Cookeville has to offer. So I love that Tech partners with us. Like, they provide our visitor guides. We do drawstring bags for them for events to have the Visit Cookeville logo, and we put brochures and information in it. We've done some social media collaborations. They have College Town Kickoff to help bring all the students downtown. So we love that they're trying to get students to be like, hey, when you're not busy with school or working, like, this is everything that Cookeville has to offer. So did you go to College Town Kickoff last year? It was a lot of fun,
It was really fun.
Yeah,
I
they
had
do
a great time.
Great job. And we've already I'm on the committee this year, and we're already talking about, you know, plans and things. So I can't wait for this year. So some exciting different things, some things that are returning, but it's going to be a really good one. And I love that they do stuff like that, because, you know, the West Side has so many things to offer. So does our downtown square. So we're really appreciative for Tech for, you know, bringing us in partnerships and sharing Cookeville with the students.
And if you're like every other student I know, these small businesses that provide the Tech discounts, that is a really big deal. And when you're a struggling college kid and you're working part-time trying to go to school, every dollar counts. And you gotta save your money to spend on coffee, obviously.
Obviously. Yeah.
So we appreciate the small businesses that understand the value of the college experience, and that these students need a break, they need a discount. And Tennessee Tech has just been a lovely partner across the board. We love the fact that we get to, you know, it's a hiring pool for us as well, you know, because we have eager graduates that are just now, they're already starting, the resumes are starting to come across my desk already for any opportunity with the Visitors Bureau. And we have a very diverse type of role to be able to fill for students. So we're grateful for them as well, and having high caliber workforce like yourself. So get ready, Mia. We may be coming knocking on your door
Yes.
next year when you graduate.
Yes.
Thank you so much
Of
for taking
course.
your time today.
Thank you for
and
having me.
It's just been lovely. And say hi to your mom and dad for me.
I will.
And all your classmates. You have been listening to Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout and my co-host Tessa Davis and our lovely interviewee today, Mia Scruggs. And we hope that you join us next week for more stories of the people who make Putnam County special. And until we see you soon, enjoy the journey.
This has been Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.